If you want to start becoming the best version of yourself, you have to start investing in yourself. But you don't have to have a lot of money to do this. So here are 9 ways to invest in yourself to glow up with little to no cash. Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jills and I help women become their best selves and step into their power. So if that's something you want to learn more about, you should absolutely hit that red subscribe button below, as well as the notifications bell too, so you don't miss when I put out any new videos. So it is so important to remember that you are your best investment and you will always be your best investment. And investing in yourself is the key to having a sustainable, fulfilling, rewarding life. Things in your life can come and go, but you will always have yourself. So here are 9 ways to invest in yourself, even if you're flat out broke. The very first cheap way to invest in yourself, and one of my personal favorites, is books. I just love books. You can learn so much by just reading regularly. They are not expensive, and I mean, there are books on everything. If you want to level up your relationships, there's books on that. If you want to become more financially literate, there's tons of books on that. If you want to be a better parent, there's books on that. If you want to improve your habits and create more efficiency in your life, there's tons of fabulous books on that. If you want to learn something or improve yourself somehow, there's probably a book on it. When I started going through my own transformation, I guess you can call it, like 5 to 6 years ago, that's when I really started reading again. And I started picking up books that I just felt called to, and books that I felt like I needed to grow and expand. At first, that started with a lot of more like science-based health and wellness type of books, because at that time in my life, that's what I needed and that was my priority. But over time, my book interests grew and evolved as I grew and evolved, and there's always something new to learn. Start with just one topic you really want to understand more and learn more about, something that you think will really help you. Get a book on it and read it. Don't just let it sit on your nightstand. Unless you're reading just like these massive and complicated books, then you should be able to read at least one book a month, and over time, this will lead to huge gains, I promise. The next way to invest in yourself, and this is 100% totally free, is to create a more curated social media feed. So let me explain what I mean by this. Although social media can be a time suck and can even be a bit destructive at times, it can also be so valuable and used for so much good. It just depends on how you use it. If you're at least somewhat active on social media, which I would assume most of you are, look at who are you following? Who are you giving your time and attention to? And is it valuable for you? We have the power to make our social media experience more educational or inspiring or in some way valuable to us. But we can also make it a total waste of our time, or worse, something that makes us feel terrible. I might be making a bold statement here, but I think that the content you consume greatly affects how you choose to live your life. I think it impacts your habits and your goals and your priorities and your well-being and your mental state. So make sure that you're following people and consuming content from people who in some way, shape, or form help you to become the person that you want to be. And it might be that fashion blogger because she helps you look more stylish and more put together and helps you find great deals. Maybe that's really beneficial for you. Maybe that's a high priority in your life. It could be that workout girl who gives great tips and helps you stay motivated, or it could be that psychologist who gives great mental health tips. Whatever it is, your social media feed should be catered toward you and what you need for your growth and your expansion, what you think is valuable to upgrade your life. Use it as inspiration and encouragement to get the life you want, not a 2-hour distraction of things that you literally don't even care about. Another little pro tip too, specifically for Instagram, if you're following people who like don't really add value to your life, you don't really enjoy watching their stories, kind of a waste of your time, but you want to keep following them or you want to stay connected to them for some reason, don't be afraid to use the mute function on Instagram so you can mute their stories. I use this function a lot. If you're going to be sitting there scrolling on social media, which you probably will be for at least like 5 to 10 minutes a day, make it something that actually positively impacts you. Okay, so this next one, also free. I'm sure I've said this probably 10 times now, but I'll say it again. Who you spend time with is who you become. And that's why one of the best investments you can make is having good, high quality friends and mentors in your life. The people you spend your time with will either be some of your best investments or some of your worst investments. Think about kids in high school or like back to your high school days. People are always very concerned about who these kids are spending time with and who their friend group is, because it has a big impact on their life. It affects how much they care about their grades. It affects if they drink and do drugs. It affects if they're obsessed with getting a boyfriend or not, or whatever it is. And yes, we can be very easily influenced in those teen years, but we are always influenced to some degree by the community and the people that we surround ourselves with. And that's why it's so important to have friends or other people in your life who you can either look up to or relate to in that more like high quality positive way. If you want to become a business owner, then spend time with other entrepreneurs. If you want to get strong and fit, then spend time with people who care about that too. Your community is so important, so choose wisely. Another way you can invest in yourself is by being more intentional with your time, because we all have 24 hours in a day, but how you choose to spend it is what matters. Back when I was struggling with my health several years ago, I was really trying to learn a lot about wellness, especially from like a more holistic perspective, because at the time, I was trying to heal myself naturally. But anyway, I found this naturopathic doctor who had a podcast, a daily podcast, and he shared really, really good information. And at that time, I had a really long commute to work. And so every single day, I would listen to his podcast, literally every single day. And just the amount of knowledge that I absorbed in just a few short months was astounding. I didn't have to listen to that podcast every day, but at that time in my life, my biggest goal, my highest priority was to feel good, was to heal myself naturally. And so I spent extra time with actions that aligned with that goal. And this is just a quick little example, but there's usually some downtime or some wasted time in our day that we can take better advantage of. Now, with that said, just to be super clear, sometimes one of the best things you can do is, instead of listening to that educational podcast, it's just turning on some classic Britney Spears and jamming out, or it's just sitting in your car in complete silence because you need the peace and quiet. These things are also valuable, just in a different way. You by no means need to always be learning and taking in new information to invest in yourself and become your best version of yourself. It's also important to make play a part of your day. It's also important to make peace and quiet and alone time with yourself a part of your day. The point is that you are intentional with your time, meaning that you use this time wisely to expand your life, whatever that looks like for you, as opposed to just getting through it. Before you do anything with your downtime, before you just automatically turn on that podcast because that's what you always do on your walk, take 5 seconds, just 5 seconds, to ask yourself, how do I feel and what do I need right now? Taking just that tiny short amount of time to get clear on this is one of the best things you can do to be more intentional with your time and use it in ways that's actually going to better you and improve your life. If you want to invest in yourself, don't forget how valuable it is to prioritize your health, because health is wealth, baby. When you don't have your health, you feel like you have nothing, and it's much easier to prevent things from happening in the first place than healing from them later on. And this can look different for everyone. It might mean cooking at home more and choosing higher quality ingredients. It might mean moving your body more, or getting better sleep, or meditating more. But whatever it is, these essential and basic ways that we take care of ourselves, most of it is free, or at least not very expensive. One of the best phrases that I've ever heard, and something that's really stuck with me, is you can either pay the farmer now or the doctor later, meaning that you can spend a little bit more now, have that financial investment towards high quality food, or you can eat like crap, but you're just gonna have to pay that money in healthcare later. When you have your health, then you have the energy and the vibrancy and the clarity to go after what you want and create the life that you want for yourself. But if you don't have your health, then there will always be these big, major additional roadblocks in your journey to that life. And there will always be that feeling of being held back. So don't forget about this one, because it's probably the most important of them all. Now, something else that can really help you to embody the energy that you want and to become the person that you want to be is to get ready every morning, because it really is a great but tiny little way to invest in yourself every single day. Because when you feel good about yourself and when you present yourself in a certain way, it not only changes how you look, but it changes how you feel, and it changes how you act. It changes your energy. So one of the easiest ways to start stepping into that next version of yourself is to look like her, embody her. And I can guarantee you that there will be a shift in how you feel and also how your life starts to play out. And realistically, you probably don't need to go blow thousands of dollars on a new wardrobe. Realistically, you probably have a good amount of stuff already. So don't just save your fancy blouses and your favorite dress for that once a year event. wear it now. Wear things in your closet that make you feel good. Spend just a little bit of time every morning to put yourself together in a way that makes you feel beautiful and start feeling like the best version of yourself all the time. Because a girl who feels more aligned physically, externally, is a girl who starts to feel more aligned internally. And that's where those big shifts occur. I think I'm on number 7 now. So next way to invest in yourself with little to no money is by putting yourself out there more and having new experiences. And I think that a lot of people think that you have to travel far and wide to have these big growth experiences and to experience something different. And that can definitely be super beneficial if you have the time and the funds for that. But you can still experience so much growth just by putting yourself out there in ways that you normally don't. By not relying on a friend to go to everything with you, by putting yourself out there more and getting yourself out of your comfort zone, even just in your own local community. Go to that class you want to go to even though you're nervous, or show up to that networking event that you just heard about. Just 2 weeks ago, I went to this crazy place that I've never heard of to go line dancing, and it was so much fun, but it was definitely an experience, something that I have never seen or experienced before. One, some people are so amazing at line dancing. Like, I didn't realize how good you could be at line dancing. 2, I didn't realize how important line dancing is to some people. Let me just tell you, when I say that they were incredible, like, they were throwing women up into the air and catching them mid line dance. It was crazy. I wish I got a video of it. Now, do I want to be a professional line dancer? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's in the cards for me, but it was a new experience for me and opened up my mind a little bit, opened up my mind to just something different. As humans, we grow through experiences, and we can learn all we want. We can take in as much knowledge as we want, but the most impactful growth comes from experiencing things ourselves and being put in new situations. You don't need to do something totally crazy, but just pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone little by little, day by day, is one small tiny way to invest in yourself. These little experiences, they add up and they make you a more well-rounded person. Okay, so this is another more beauty related one, and for those ladies out there who want to kind of invest in themselves more physically, externally glow up, and that is to learn how to do hair and makeup. There are so many amazing YouTube videos out there that can teach you how to do these things. And I am by no means a makeup or hair guru. I am just definitely not. But when I wanted to learn how to do better winged eyeliner, I turned to YouTube and I watched videos on it and I figured it out. And when I wanted to learn how to actually use my Dyson Airwrap, because for the life of me I could not figure it out and it always looked so weird, I turned to YouTube and I figured it out. The beauty of the internet is that there's all this information out there and it's free and it's easy to find and it's so accessible for us. I mean, YouTube is just so wonderful sometimes, especially for more visual things like this. If you feel like you struggle in this area of your life or it could use some improvement, just spend like a night alone just kind of researching and watching videos and playing around with it and just kind of learning these tips and tricks that people share. There are so many different like hairstyles and makeup tricks that you can learn to enhance your look. And again, when you feel better, when you feel more confident, that's going to have a positive trickle-down effect on every aspect of your life. And again, it's totally free. The last way to invest in yourself is by doing that deep inner work, by doing shadow work. And I feel like shadow work is, the name is just kind of like heavy and intense, and it can be sometimes, but shadow work is just essentially digging deep into more of those subconscious, darker parts of you that are still holding you back and affecting your life. And I feel like this is best understood by examples. So for example, when you were a kid, maybe the only way you really received love was when you worked incredibly hard and had like these concrete accomplishments to share. And so today you overwork yourself to the point of burnout because you feel that's the only way you're going to be loved. You feel like that's the only way that you're worthy. So shadow work is basically digging into those blocks and those feelings, identifying where they're coming from, becoming aware of how they're still affecting you today, validating those feelings, and then just letting them go so they're not holding you back anymore. And this is done by just having lots of honest self-awareness and just spending time with yourself and probably journaling these things out. And there are tons of resources online for this. So if you type into Google something like shadow work prompts or shadow work journaling prompts, you'll find a lot of good resources here. Our subconscious mind shapes our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. So if your subconscious is still dwelling on old hurt feelings from the past, then that's going to keep you kind of stuck. But digging into why we do the things that we do and working through those repressed feelings is how we start to heal, like at a deep level. And obviously the benefits from this true deeper healing are huge. I really hope this video was helpful for you, but before you go, you might want to check out this video here all about the 10 books that changed my life. Because like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, reading is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to invest in yourself, so that is a great place to start. So I'll see you over there, or I'll see you in my next video. Bye.